Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are decoding a really vital digital artifact that literally holds the keys to health and wellness in South Korea. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by trying to figure out a new country's medical system, well, you know how absolutely crucial it is to find that one golden thread of information that just makes everything click. And today, we're looking at exactly that. We've got a brief, super unassuming document titled Say Memo, which translates to New Memo. We're going to unpack how this tiny digital note acts as the absolute perfect cheat sheet for navigating Korean healthcare.
At first glance, you might look at this document and just see 3 basic web links. But honestly, this new memo is an essential survival guide for anyone trying to navigate the Korean healthcare landscape. It basically strips away all the background noise and gives you a curated foundational roadmap. It's literally just 3 critical official links. It specifically targets preventative healthcare and insurance, taking what can be a vast, kind of intimidating bureaucracy and organizing it into a highly accessible format.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by taking a peek inside the memo itself. Then we'll explore Korea's health checkup culture, followed by specific cancer screening information. After that, we'll cover guidance for foreigners, and finally, we'll wrap up with our core takeaways. Let's dive in.
Section 1. Inside the new memo.
What is just so fascinating here is how this memo categorizes a massive national apparatus into 3 really distinct official online portals. It curates the experience perfectly, it offers a gateway to the general health checkup culture, a specialized link for cancer screening, and then loops back to specific guidance for foreigners. It is incredibly concise, taking the entire health system and distilling it straight down to these 3 essential entry points.
Moving on to Section 2, the health checkup culture. So before we even start looking at specific treatments, we've got to ask, how exactly does the Korean system view preventative medicine? Notice the phrasing used here. It's not just doctor's appointments, right? It's a health checkup culture. It's this highly normalized, super proactive mindset that is embedded directly into the national insurance framework.
And that brings us to the first link, which really acts as your main gateway. It routes you directly to the English language section of the National Health Insurance Service, or the NHIS. This establishes right out of the gate that routine preventative checkups are your absolute baseline. By prioritizing this, the guide makes it crystal clear that jumping into proactive health maintenance is the very foundation of utilizing Korean healthcare.
All right, Section 3, cancer screening information. This perfectly illustrates a really smart 2-pronged approach. On one hand, you've got the broad NHIS umbrella handling your general health maintenance. But for high-stakes specialized care, well, the memo purposefully points you away from the general portal and towards a highly specialized authority specifically for Korean cancer screening info. It just perfectly balances broad everyday health maintenance with those targeted critical resources.
If we look a bit closer at that second link, the domain changes entirely to ncc.rekr, which stands for the National Cancer Center. When it comes to something as serious and specific as cancer screening, you bypass the general insurance portal entirely and go straight to the specialized national authority. Honestly, it's an incredibly efficient piece of curation that literally saves residents hours of searching.
Which brings us to Section 4. Guidance for foreigners.
Now you might be sitting there wondering, okay, how is a non-native resident actually supposed to navigate these cultural expectations and specialized medical portals? It's one thing to know that a checkup culture exists, right? But it's an entirely different beast to figure out how to enroll, what you're even eligible for, and how the national health insurance applies to you as an expat. But the beauty is, this document anticipates that exact hurdle.
To solve this, the final link gives you explicit guidance for foreigners using the Korean National Health Insurance. It routes you right back to the authoritative NHIS portal. This effectively closes the loop. It showed you the overarching culture, it highlighted the specialized care, and now it gives you the exact instruction manual for how you, as an international resident, plug into that very system. So these 3 simple links actually craft a brilliant, totally empowering user journey. Step 1, you hit up the NHIS English portal. Step 2, you read up on the specific foreigner guidance so you completely understand your coverage and your rights. And Step 3, armed with all that knowledge, you can step up and participate confidently in the national checkup culture and utilize those cancer screening services. It basically transforms bureaucratic confusion into actionable confidence.
All right, finally, Section 5, final thoughts and takeaways. Ultimately, this single, totally unassuming document
equips you with 3 incredibly solid foundational pillars. First, it gives you the cultural understanding of the routine checkup expectations through the NHIS. Second, it provides direct access to specialized, top-tier cancer screening protocols via the NCC. And third, it delivers explicit, targeted guidance for foreigners to make sure you aren't left out. It's essentially the ultimate digital starter pack for proactive health in Korea.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this thought. Armed with these curated insights from the new memo, what step are you going to take today to engage with Korea's preventative healthcare culture? Whether it's reading up on your eligibility or finally scheduling that first routine checkup, these official resources are literally right at your fingertips now. Thanks so much for exploring this with me, and hey, here's to taking control of your health journey.